We've got an exciting show for you today. Tune in as we dive into the world of Comic-Con.
Welcome to Discover Statesville, the show that takes you on a captivating journey through the heart of one of North Carolina's most charming towns.
Welcome back to Discover Statesville, everyone. Are you ready to discover another very cool thing happening right here in our Civic Center? Today, we are joined by Sherry and Tim Deel, who are the organizers of Comic-Con happening on February 10th. Welcome, guys.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, we're so excited to have you guys here with us. So just to kind of kick it off, we'd like to get to know you guys a little bit. So tell us a little bit about yourselves and how you got involved in organizing Comic-Con, because we're 7 years,
7 years, yes.
Yeah.
7 years into it.
That's some dedication. Tell us why Comic-Con.
He had started having health problems, and one of the things I asked was, what's something on your bucket list? He said, I've always wanted to have a Comic-Con. I said, I can do that. I had no idea it was going to lead to all this.
Hey.
Well, that is a wife that you need to keep by your side right there.
I plan to, yeah.
You're already making a list of other things you want to ask for.
Yeah.
Oh, he did. He opened a comic book store
After
2
that,
years ago. That was his other.
After that, we did open a comic book store, too. So, yeah.
Okay. So it's a passion of yours.
Yes, I've always loved comics since I was a kid.
Okay. All right. So, well, I was going to ask you if either of you were comic book or cosplay enthusiasts before this, but it sounds like that's exactly what
I was. She followed along.
He dragged me into this world.
That's what happens, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're excited about it.
So hosting an event like this at the Civic Center, it seems like a pretty significant undertaking.
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Talk a little bit about sort of what goes on behind the scenes to make something like this work.
Well, you have the vendors, you have to book. We have some loyal vendors, which we are thankful for, because we have several shows across the state. So they kind of come to all of our shows usually.
Sure.
And after we've been doing this for 8 years total. We have narrowed it down to a really good group of vendors. Just a wonderful group of people. It's like a family reunion when you go and everything. And you got to set the vendors up. You got to lay out your floor plans. You have to get, the fire permit to make sure it's laid out correctly. There's a lot of things that go on before it ever opens up to the public.
Oh, yes.
And so a lot of what you're getting is it sounds like you've built up a network now. So a lot of it's just, hey, folks, here's going to be the dates for next year.
Right.
Let us know if you're in or not.
Right.
But then are you also always willing to recruit new vendors if space allows?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
We always love to recruit new vendors, keep it fresh,
Yeah, it's never the same year to year. There's always something new and different.
And the vendors are always creating new stuff. A lot of them are artists, and so their product will be different every show, just about.
Sure.
And of course, the people we have that are stars that come, and everybody wants to see those change per show usually.
I would imagine that's a pretty significant piece of this is
Yes.
reaching out, not getting
Right.
responses, trying to find people that you can get to
absolutely.
celebrity types to attend.
Yeah, that can be troublesome.
It can be
Especially the day of the show when they don't show up.
that has happened.
We have had
That's sometimes people have car trouble and stuff.
Right.
Exactly.
Like us on the way here, right?
We were talking a little bit before the show, and you guys mentioned that this brings upwards of 1,500 people into downtown Statesville, which we are very thankful for. Thank you for that. But about how many vendors do you guys usually see?
We usually have around 100 vendor tables per show. Now, some of the vendors will have multiple tables, but we usually try to set up at least 100 vendor tables.
So the Civic Center is completely full.
Oh, it is
for
full.
Comic-Con.
The hallway's full. The side rooms are full. Everything's full when we're there.
So I'm going to use this opportunity to say once again, Richard, we need an expansion of the...
Noted. That is
Yes.
This is going to be
noted. It's on the radar.
The third show.
Yes, we do.
You'd
Okay.
like some more room for vendors.
Yes, I
Yeah,
could
we could
definitely
utilize
use
more
some
room.
Right. So you guys mentioned special features and special guests and stuff. So what makes this Comic-Con or your Comic-Con unique and compared to what other people are doing? Or
I think one of the things that makes ours the most unique is we try to keep it family friendly and the cost down. That's just one of my goals. It always has been. I want you to bring the whole family out Saturday, and it's not going to bust the bank, and y'all can do something. And we try our best to keep everything just as low as possible.
yeah. $5 is definitely.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, good for y'all. This is truly just a
Thank
passion.
you.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of shows that have upped their prices recently, and I'm not dogging them because that the economy the way it is, but I still really want to keep mine just as low as possible.
Yeah. You mentioned other shows. Where else are you guys?
We do Greenville, North Carolina. That show's actually been on A&E's Shipping Wars.
Congratulations.
Yeah, we had a little segment on it.
Yeah, we had
Very
a
cool.
segment on that show.
Yeah.
And we have Greenville, North Carolina. Well, I just said that, sorry. We have Marion, North Carolina, and we also have Shelby, North Carolina.
Wow.
Yeah. So that one little bucket
that
list
one show
item.
took over.
And do you space? I mean, do you space them out throughout the year, or is there a season where you're like, we're going to
No,
do
they're
boom,
through
boom,
the
boom?
year.
Okay.
Like
Throughout the
Greenville's
year.
in August, and
Okay.
Marion's usually in
You
March.
get to take a deep breath.
Yeah, that way
briefly in
you
between.
need at least a month between
Yeah.
shows. But yeah, it's and that's another scheduling thing. You have to make sure you're not doing it the same weekend as a show within. You don't want to be within 100 miles of another show because you're gonna, vendors go to the same shows, and
You don't want them to have to choose.
yeah, you don't
Right.
want them to have to choose.
Affects vendors and attendants.
Exactly. The attendees, you don't want them going, oh, which show do I go to? So you do have to, check your calendars very regularly and see who's having a show and try to schedule around it. And if there's anything big going on in the city, you don't want to hit it on that day too and try to
Right.
take away from anything.
Well, you're a event planner's dream. You guys really think of everything. Now, of course, we are biased. And no offense to Greenville and the rest of the amazing places you go, but tell us why Statesville is your favorite place to have a Comic-Con. or not. But
I'll be honest, believe it or not, it's not our biggest show, but it is our vendors' favorite show.
Oh, okay.
My vendors will fight to get into Statesville.
Really?
They love it here.
Love it. It's the people. And they will tell you every time it is the people here. So, yes, Statesville really has won over the hearts of my vendors.
well, we're a little biased, but I think almost every show that we do ties back to how amazing the people are.
Oh,
in our community.
absolutely.
So much
They said you can
case.
just feel the excitement in the air and everybody's in such a good mood. And I mean, out of 7 years, we've very rarely had anything, that was negative. So that's a great
Well, and I don't
thing.
know what the situation is in the other communities that you do shows in, but the Civic Center here being right in downtown, it becomes one of these things too that maybe it wasn't on your radar to go to Comic-Con that day, but you're out walking around downtown and it's like, oh, let's
Let's do
pop
it.
in. It's going to cost us $5. Let's
Absolutely.
let's go in and knock around and see what we see there. So I
Absolutely.
think that's great. So that brings me to one of the things that you might see if you pop in. Talk about cosplay. I know Cindy was disappointed when I didn't show up in some sort of costume today.
There's
She
still
was- she was
time,
not
Richard.
surprised. She
I'm
was
going to be
just-
looking
she
for
was
you
just
this weekend.
Disappointed, not surprised, just disappointed. But this is a big part of these type of events. So talk
yeah.
about that a little bit.
It's grown up Halloween. But it does not have to be a comic book character. It can be, anything.
Yeah, it could be anything. Video games, anything pop culture. I mean, you could
Your
be
own
in-
creation.
You could be Kiss. You could be something from a video game. You could be
Yeah,
anime.
It's just anything. Anything that your heart desires, you can dress up as. So that's
I don't know
the
why
cool.
I'm feeling like saying this, but I want to be strawberry shortcake.
Well, see, there, strawberry shortcake is bigger
I'm sure you
now.
would not. You would not be the first.
Yes.
That's
No,
the thing.
Yes.
we've seen the costume in the past.
Have you?
So,
yes.
so what are some of the real standouts that you guys have seen at y'all shows over the years?
Oh, I know my favorite. I don't know if you do. My favorite was a walker, Texas Ranger with a walker. And it was so funny. It was an older gentleman dressed like one of the walkers from The Walking Dead, but he had on the uniform for Walker, Texas Ranger, and he had his little walker.
Oh, so like a
with
big
him.
tie-in of multiple
Yes,
things.
He was
Yeah.
multiple
Big walker.
That
I was going to say,
one
Chuck
of
Norris
my-
would never use a
It was-
walker, but I guess if you're, I see.
Walking Dead, he was using a walker and Walker Texas Ranger. Yeah,
Wow.
He
So that
combined
was
it.
one of my favorites
That's
of
awesome.
all time because
I
that's
like
just so
when they get creative.
Sure.
I like when the creative costumes like
And the
that.
mashups.
Yeah.
Oh, I love like the mashups, like
Describe one of those.
a samurai Joker, or a geisha Harley Quinn was with
Like-
him, or
like-
yeah, you just do like mash up what
Yeah.
two characters would turn into or something, and those I love.
They're very unique.
yeah.
and
It's just somebody's own creation.
And anything, I mean, significantly elaborate that you've seen over the year? You know, I've seen pictures
there's
at some of
so
these
many.
other events that people do, and the amount of hours that people must have put into creating these
yes.
things.
Some of the costumes will blow you away. And people think, oh, you have to go to the bigger shows to see it. That is not true.
Really?
That is not true.
No.
There's some amazing costumes in Statesville. I know last year the judges even had trouble
Really?
narrowing it down. So most of them are handmade, the ones that, make it to the end. And they're elaborate and they're beautiful and some talented people around
very
here.
cool,
Yes. Very talented.
Do you guys dress up?
I do not. He does sometimes.
I have on occasion. Usually I don't have the time, I guess.
Yeah, that's probably true.
To do it at the show, but I have on occasion had a costume.
Now, we have a great team at the Civic Center, and I think like our own marketing and events manager, Amy over there, she plays along, right? This is one of her favorite events at the
She
Civic
has come
Center.
to several. Yeah, she sure does.
Yeah, I think I've seen her and her family in some pictures.
Oh, they're fun. You don't have to just like comic books to come to it. It's anything pop culture. Like we're talking about Walking Dead, and the steampunk is a big one that people do. I love steampunk, and just anything. It does not have to be comic related.
No, anything pop culture. From your favorite TV show or whatever, it could be anything. And you'll find collectibles from a wide variety of genre too, not just comics.
Right, He-Man toys, things. You mentioned Strawberry Shortcake.
I have them all.
Yes.
I had a strawberry shortcake bed when I was little.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So the one thing I kept from my childhood, they don't smell anymore. But
Right. I was wondering that.
the purple pie man, all of them.
But I think what you're talking about, I think it's one of the coolest things. I've been to the Comic-Con here a couple of times, and the nostalgia aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
Walking through and being like, oh man, I used to have that, or I used to have that, or I wish I'd saved that. I think it's really cool, whether you're still into these kind of things or not. You go in and it's a blast from the past in a lot of these different booths.
Because you see the parents telling their kids, "Oh, look at this," and then the kids like, "Oh, that's really
Our toys
cool."
were way better.
Exactly. That's true.
I used to have one of these.
Yep.
So you guys specifically said it's not all about comic books. Are there any activities or interactive classes or anything like that happening?
We usually have panels, which somebody will discuss their stuff. We have Karen Whitfield that's coming to the show. She was the Bronze Age Batgirl. She usually does a panel and lets people ask her questions and everything about her tour.
Yeah, she traveled around with Adam West and Burt Ward.
Oh, wow.
And
For a while. She
as
actually was
Batgirl.
dating Burt Ward at the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, she comes to some of our shows and she'll sign a picture, and she's got a book about her time traveling with them.
Oh, wow.
And her Q&As during the show are really fun. And it's a set time off in a private, quieter room where people can really ask questions they're interested in.
Oh, that's really neat, yeah.
And so we have Jeremy Palco, and I'm so sorry if I said his name wrong. He was Andy on The Walking Dead.
Okay.
And he's also an amazing artist. His artwork is amazing. And Matthew Atley, who has been in several films, and he's an artist. And they're all so polite, and they'll talk to you, and they'll answer questions. And that's what I like about our vendors and our guests and stuff. I want them to be interactive. I want the kid in 10th grade that's into drawing to be able to come up and ask questions.
Right.
I want them to be approachable, and because that's where our next generation's coming from. So.
And you got a law enforcement presence here with Chase?
Chase from Paw Patrol will be there from 10 to 2 that day.
Hold up your little flyer. Hold up your flyer. It's nicely done. So.
There we go.
You guys were, when we invited you to come out and be on the podcast with us, you guys immediately went out and said, hey, we're going to be in town. You reached out to the community and said, we're going to be in town. We're bringing flyers, so if you'd like some flyers, let us know. So
Absolutely.
Tell us, you've made some relationships here in the area and
Statesville is so supportive. All the businesses are like, oh, yes, bring that in, set it up, I'll advertise you. I know the Iredale Museum, they're offering discounts that day. If you come in costume, you get $2 off admission.
Oh, wow.
And, it's easy, just walk on over there and you can do it. I know some of the restaurants downtown will offer discounts if you come in costume that day and that kind of stuff. So I like when it's a community event.
Well, kudos to
everything.
you guys for taking the time to think outside the box and reach out to the community to involve them and let them know that you're going to be in town. Because I think those partnerships are very important.
That's one of the best things about Statesville. I'll tell you, the community gets involved. They are so supportive
I'm
here.
gonna be crying here in a minute. Statesville really is amazing. So guys, tell us, anything you want people to know about Comic-Con and about this weekend? I mean, other than to come out and
Well, I think if you come out,
participate.
you're going to have a ball.
Yeah.
Even if you're not into any of the stuff, just to see the excitement of everybody else, see the wonderful costumes, and just
There's going to be something there that's going to put a smile
Yeah.
on your
Oh,
face. for more
yeah.
fun.
Just
Yeah.
watching the kids see their hero, that is just, it'll melt your heart every
Yeah.
time. And to them, that's Spider-Man. So they're excited, or that's Batman. We're also doing a fundraiser called Bags for Bree. Bree was a former vendor of ours. She's only 26, but she has a very serious brain tumor. And so she's had to quit vending, and we're going to do a fundraiser for her at the show to help pay some of the medical bills. So we'll have that there. We always try to, at every show, have at least one thing we're supporting with a fundraiser. We've done the Purple Heart homes here and all that. And so this time we're doing the Bags for Bree to help her with her medical bills.
That's so very nice of you guys.
Oh, thank you. I think you have to give back to the community. You need to support the community you're in.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So we try to.
So tell us, it's this weekend, February 10th.
Yes.
$5 to get in. Kids 12 and under free, is that right?
12 and under, or
Or
2 to 3 and under.
Three and
are
under.
free.
Okay. I'm misreading your
And,
flyer. I'm sorry.
I guess I'll tell them the hours of the costume contest.
Yes.
That's something
Yes.
everybody wants.
Yeah.
The registration, the costume contest is now run by Be Your Own Hero Productions. This is they have shows on, what is it? Amazon Prime and all that. They have
Yeah, I think-
podcasts, not podcasts, but shows that have been
Yeah.
already put out there. They're working on a new one, and they do our costume contest now. They judge it, they handle it, they everything. They are wonderful, wonderful people. And they're going to do, you sign up and register for the costume contest from, it is 10 to 2. Then they're 11 to 2, I'm so sorry. And then they're going to do a cosplay group photo at 2 o'clock. You do not have to be in the costume contest to be in the photo.
Okay.
So if you want to dress up
Noted.
and you don't want to compete, that is fine. But show up for the group photo. And we usually have like 100 people in this picture, and it's
cool.
wonderful because you have all these different costumes.
Anybody in costume,
Anybody
come on
in
out.
costume, come on out and get in the picture. It doesn't matter if it's store-bought, you made it, whatever. And then at 3, they do the judging, and we have that in a separate room, which is off, and it's always full, like standing room only. By the time we get it in there, it's everybody's favorite.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Chase from Paw Patrol, you said is going to be there from 10 to 12.
Yes, he was going to be there the whole time, but Chase's daughter's getting married.
That's not on the show.
That's not on the show. That's
Well, shout out to Chase for taking the time to show up in the midst of.
Big crowd. You got to have law enforcement of some sort.
right.
Can't be missing out. What time do doors open?
The doors will open at 10, and they stay open till 5, and you can come and stay all day. But you will get a wristband if you want to leave, walk to a restaurant downtown, anything like that, let the kids take a nap. You can do that and come back. You can come back all day long. So,
And if people want to learn more,
they can go to our Facebook page. They can message me through that Facebook page. I can answer questions.
that's how we got.
That's how you got a hold of us. Yes.
And that's just Statesville If you look up Statesville Comic Con on
yes.
Facebook, that'll
Yes.
be your page. Okay.
Yes.
That'll be it.
And it's a new page. We've only had it for a year. For some reason, our
guys got
other one that
hacked
had
or
been there
something,
for
right?
5 years got hacked and shut down. I know, because we had so many followers on it and everything. So we're trying to build this one back up now, but that's where the information will be.
We'll give it a share so you guys,
Thank
everyone can
you.
go out there and be following Statesville Comic Con. Guys, we're so grateful to you that you choose Statesville for this show every year, and that in your 7th year, you guys are from just a bucket list have turned it into this amazing thing for you guys. And we wish you much success this weekend.
you.
And much health and happiness.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a vital part of our community.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it.
Statesville Comic-Con, guys, this weekend. Check it out. Thank you.
Thank you for joining Discover Statesville. You can email us at discover@statesvillenc.com. Check us out on Facebook at Discover Statesville NC, #Discover Statesville, and our website, statesvillenc.com. Catch us next week as we continue on our journey to uncover the hidden gems, culinary adventures, entertainment, and to be inspired and enlightened as we discover Statesville.